The theft of some money from an office at the YMCA was reported to the police last evening. Officers said $146 was taken from a desk in a first-floor office, apparently while a woman who worked there stepped out for several minutes. A motion for a new trial has been filed in Common Pleas Court by the City of Marion in a damage suit case. Earlier this month, the Common Pleas jury awarded $9,000 to Mrs. Pauline Kellogg of 948 Merkle Avenue for injuries she received when she stepped into a hole in Garfield Park almost 3 years ago. Now the city has filed a motion for a new trial. Last January, the woman's husband was awarded $8,000 by a jury for his wife's injury. A motion for a new trial in that case was turned down by Judge Paul D. Smith, and that case was finally appealed by the court. In a moment, more news, but now a word from your Nash Rambler dealer.
Nobody home, I hope. It says here, J.P. Pullum, dentist. You wouldn't want to buy a new 1959 Rambler, would you, Doc?
You are a lucky man. I just happen to have a vacancy. Sit down.
Yeah, but Doc...
Open wide. Oh, that's right. You know, you don't have to sell me on the 59 Rambler. It's first in economy, first in sales gains, and no wonder. Rambler has the best of both. Big car room, small car economy.
Yeah, but Doc...
Oh, relax. Can't you salesmen ever stop selling? You know, Rambler's got quite an idea with that personalized comfort. Independently adjustable front seats, adjustable headrests, easiest parking and handling in America. Now, that 59 Rambler is so terrific it makes you want to put your foot right down on the accelerator. No, that didn't hurt, did it?
Oh, gosh, Willikers, no. That's my lower plate you've been drilling.
Now back to the news. The Board of Elections reports that Mrs. Georgia Cooper Burton, unsuccessful candidate for the Republican nomination for mayor in the May primary, spent $5.15 in her campaign, according to her statement of expenses filed yesterday. The building permits in this city this week amounted to $29,050, according to City Clerk Mrs. Alta Sheehy. They include permits for the construction of 3 new homes. Marion Township Zoning Inspector W.A. Rank reports 7 permits issued this week. They included permits for constructing 3 new houses out in the township, and 1 for a swimming pool, which was issued to Mrs. Ira Eccles, who lives on U.S. Highway 23, south of the city. The pool will be a private one. 8th District Congressman Jackson E. Betts reports he has secured a copy of a motion picture film, The Common Defense, which any interested group in this district may borrow by simply writing to him. It is a 27-minute 16mm sound film and highlights the state of readiness of our armed forces and includes accounts of launching of America into the space age. To borrow the film, organizations are asked to write to Congressman Betts, care of the House of Office Building, Washington, D.C. John Robert Burley, age 89, of 310.5 Quarry Street, died in Marion General Hospital at 2:30 yesterday afternoon. He is survived by 2 sons, William of near Marion and John H. Burley of Mansfield. 3 daughters, Mrs. Opal Shoemate and Mrs. Viola Bell Clark, both of Marion, and Mrs. Hazel Warner of Springfield, Ohio, along with 15 grandchildren and 18 great-grandchildren, and 1 great-great-grandchild. Services will be held at 2 p.m. in the Boyd Funeral Home, where friends may call after 7:30 this evening. Burial will be in LaRue Cemetery. Now for the weather for Marion and vicinity. Partly cloudy and cooler today, high of 80, fair and cool tonight and Sunday, low 57, high Sunday, 78. This has been the latest news, compiled and edited in our WMRN newsroom and reported by Dave Grumblatt. You are in tune with radio in Marion, WMRN, AM and FM. Litter is expensive, an eyesore, and a health and fire hazard. Help combat the litter menace by supporting your local anti-litter organization. If there is no organization program in your community, you can help start one. For further information, write to Keep America Beautiful, Incorporated, 99 Park Avenue, New York 16, New York. That's Keep America Beautiful, 99 Park Avenue, New York 16, New York. You have just heard music from the albums, featuring the album of the Kingston Trio, entitled The Kingston Trio at Large. You are in tune with Radio in Marion, WMRN, AM and FM. Many of the blind people who approach Pilot Dogs Incorporated say the same thing. I need a pilot dog to give me the freedom to go by myself to work or to look for work. But I have no money. I couldn't pay for a dog or travel anywhere to get one. This is the purpose for which the incorporation was established, to give an opportunity to those people who need it the most. If their application is accepted, they receive the pilot dog and pay nothing in the process. For information on this work, write Pilot Dogs Incorporated, 625 West Town Street, Columbus, Ohio. Now it's time for the latest baseball scores, brought to you by your Nash dealer in Marion, Ohio. In a moment, the scores, but first, a word from Nash Rambler.
Nobody home here, I hope. Ma'am, could I sell you a 1959 Rambler?
Why, sure. But what's that paper sticking out of your collar?
Oh, that's a note, so I won't forget to say, only Rambler, the success car of 59, has the best of both.
Mm-hmm. Big car room, small car economy.
This note in my tie clip tells about personalized comfort.
Oh, that means your Rambler can have seats that adjust separately to a person's own height and build, adjustable headrests, reclining seats, right?
I'm not sure. The next note is stuck up my sleeve.
Well, Rambler is also the easiest car made in America for a lady to park and handle.
Ouch. Oh, woe is me. Lady, could you close this deal fast and sign for a Rambler quick?
All right, but why?
I fastened the last sales point to my shirt tail and the safety pin came open.
And now here are the baseball scores. In the National League, Pittsburgh 6, Los Angeles 3 in the first game, and Pittsburgh 5, Los Angeles 2 in the second game. Philadelphia 7, San Francisco 5 first game, and Philadelphia 6, San Francisco 3 in the second game. St. Louis 5, Cincinnati 4, and Chicago 6, Milwaukee nothing. And in the American League, Cleveland 9, Washington 5 in the first game, Cleveland 12, Washington 6 in the second game. Detroit took both games away from New York. Detroit in the first game 3, New York 2. In the second game, Detroit 8, New York 2. Boston 6, Kansas City 1. The second Boston-Kansas City game was postponed because of rain. Chicago 9, Baltimore 6 in the first game, and after 9 innings of the second game, it's Chicago 2 and Baltimore 2. You have just heard the latest news on the world of sports, baseball, brought to you by your friendly Nash dealer in Marion, Ohio. You are in tune with your friendly neighbor on the main street of Ohio, WMRN, AM and FM. A homeless orphan lives in fear. Fear of the rats that crawl over him at night. Fear of the men who beat him when he steals a little food. Find out how you can give a home and loving care to a frightened homeless child. Write to Christian Children's Fund, Richmond, Virginia. This concludes another day of broadcasting for stations WMRN and WMRN-FM in Marion, Ohio. Throughout the day, WMRN has been operating on an assigned frequency of 1490 kilocycles with a power of 250 watts, and WMRN-FM at 106.9 megacycles Channel 295 with an effective radiated power of 25,000 watts by authority of the Federal Communications Commission in Washington, D.C. These stations are owned and operated by the Marion Broadcasting Company with studios and transmitters located on North Main Street in Marion, Ohio. WMRN and WMRN-FM will return to the air at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Until then, this is Dave Grumblatt speaking on behalf of the entire staff and management and wishing each of you a very pleasant good night.